Testing, testing, testing. Good evening, everyone. How are we feeling in our bodies today, y'all? Hey, everyone. Happy Thursday. Just getting a minute to get everything ready. We are filming the live stream from my apartment again. So, welcome. If there's anything you want to grab, go ahead and do so now. You can grab some water. You can grab a block, a bolster, anything like that. Good evening, everyone. Got my sakis on. Welcome, y'all. We're going to be doing a balance flow, a 30-minute balance flow this evening. Thanks, Craig. We're going to be doing a 30-minute balance flow tonight. So one thing you're definitely going to need for a balance flow is definitely a yoga block. So make sure you grab a yoga block. If you don't have a block, you can grab a book that's comparably the same size, something similar. I'm feeling very reflective and meditative today. So if my energy seems a little low, it's not so much as that I'm finding that I'm more reflective today and feeling called to kind of sit in that, which is a really good place to be when you're journeying on the mat. So I'm really looking forward to kind of flowing and practicing tonight with y'all as well. So if you're on our newsletter or you're part of my newsletter, the EA newsletter, make sure you join the newsletter. You can just go to www.well.com. I spoke a little bit about balance in today's newsletter that went out for today's live stream. And I was discussing specifically how balance is actually very challenging to achieve. So we try to find work-life balance or balance here and there. And I don't feel like balance is very realistic. What I think is more realistic is self-regulation. And what I mean by that is being able to drop into your body and self-regulate to help us manage moving on autopilot. So what happens when we get off balance or things in our lives are thrown off homeostasis, our homeostasis is thrown off, is because we're moving on autopilot and not really sensitive to noticing when we're feeling overwhelmed or overloaded in one area in our life and when we need something else or we need to kind of shift and pivot to something else. And I have fallen victim to that, to just moving on autopilot. Even though I'm an extremely sensitive person, I've completely moved in spaces where I've moved on autopilot, like negated my feelings and pushed through things that would suggest that it's time for me to move or pivot. And so moving more in self-regulation, I've started to move in that space. Instead of focusing so much on balance, let me self-regulate. When I'm feeling overly exhausted and tired, instead of pushing myself to produce or create in that moment, especially this year. It's only been 13 days so far, but I've really noticed myself doing this, and I'm proud of myself for doing this. I will turn off my computer, I will close it, and I will stop trying to push myself to work. And that's very new. That's a very new action for me to take, especially in the past, let's say 4 years, 4 to 5 years. I have plowed my way um, through feelings of overwhelm or anxiety and learning how to regulate so that I'm not moving on autopilot as soon as my senses tell me that I'm overloaded or that I need to progress and move, responding accordingly. And our yoga practice is a perfect place to do that, to practice self regulation. Because when we're practicing yoga, we have such an opportunity to tap into what our bodies are feeling because the practice is it's an embodied practice. You are in your body while you are moving, so you kind of have no choice but to listen to what your limbs are saying. If they're too tight, if you're overly flexible, you have to kind of listen to your body no matter what. And so that's why yoga is such a really great place to practice self-regulation. So if you're finding yourself in this new year in 2022 talking a lot about let me find more balance, I invite you to explore more self-regulation. Let me find more self-regulation in the moment, in my body, so that I can stop moving on autopilot. And that's what we're going to explore in today's balancing practice. I love balancing sequences because they can be really challenging. They help me find new areas of growth, how to explore more of my growth zone. Um, but they also help us establish internal balance or internal self regulation within our bodies because you're only balancing on one leg or you're not really exercising the same amount of balance that you would where you're rooted in one or you're rooted on one foot or on two wheels or depending on our bodies, our homeostasis, our normal balancing positions are moved off in balancing sequences. You become hypersensitive to when things feel off. And that's a really great tool of self regulation. So I'm excited to get into today's practice today. We're going to be starting in exactly 1 minuto. I'll go ahead and give honor to the land, depending on where y'all are at. I'm in Seattle, Washington. This is home of the Duwamish tribe, home of the Duwamish indigenous peoples. Want to make sure we honor the land that we are on. Um, and I give so much grace to the indigenous peoples and just how they cared for this land. I have such a keen interest in kind of building some of those principles up for myself, for my future children, um, and just learning how to live in a more mindful, more careful way. So I want to make sure I give honor to the indigenous peoples, the Duwamish tribe. If you're just joining me, my name is Abiyala Akani. I'm the founder of EYA. You're joining me on YouTube today. This occasionally streams on EYA as well, but we are gearing up for the Trap Flow Body Love Challenge. So our lives are currently just on YouTube today. I'll be telling you a little bit more about the Trap Flow Body Love Challenge a little later, but actually let me just give you a little bit of a sneak peek right now. The Trap Flow Body Love Challenge, if you've been following me on YouTube, is a hip hop yoga practice very similar to the Trap Vinyasa yoga practice that I have on YouTube, which is actually my most viewed YouTube. I think it's been streamed and viewed 800,000 times, which is crazy. So that's a very popular hip hop yoga practice that I created. And I'm super excited to reveal and premiere the Trap Flow Body Love Challenge, which features 20 hip hop yoga body love practices that are all on demand. So you can practice anytime from anywhere, from, wherever you'd like. And the practice officially, or excuse me, the challenge officially starts on Monday on MLK Day. However, you can head to the challenge right now and join by just going to www.iywell.com and hit that Trap Flow Body Love Challenge to join us. Like I said, it's 20 hip hop yoga practices that you can return back to again and again that are specifically designed to help us cultivate an embodiment of body positivity, an embodied practice of body positivity that we can actually feel in our bodies. So I invite you to join us. We start on Monday. Y'all don't wait. Definitely join us. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description box at the end of the practice so you can join that challenge. We're starting on Monday, and I want to make sure y'all get in on this good. So we're going to go ahead and start today's balance flow, and we're going to actually start standing right away. I have my socks on because my feet are kind of cold. I might take them off a little bit later, but I'm going to keep them on for now. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started standing. So you can come to the top of your mat here and just kind of pitter patter left and right. And we're just going to start with a little bit of breathing. You can feel free to close the eyes here, or you can open the eyes if that feels safe for you in your body. Find what feels grounding for you. We'll start with some diaphragmatic breathing. It can be helpful to draw your hand to your low belly so you can notice yourself expanding your belly with air as opposed to keeping the breath trapped in your chest or in your upper diaphragm. Try to breathe into your low belly, like feel the breath actually expand down towards your groin and feel your belly expand with air. So you're really using your whole diaphragm to breathe and just not your upper chest. So let's take a deep inhale in through the nostrils. Exhale out of the nose. Inhale in through the nostrils. Exhale out of the nose. Inhale through the nostrils, y'all. Exhale out of the nose. Continue to find that breath on your own. On the next inhalation, let's circle sweep hands up and over. Exhale, hands come to heart center, and just go ahead and shift the weight to the right foot and balance on your left leg. Take 3 hip circles here. So you're gonna circle the knee in towards the belly. Exhale, glide it out to the left. Circle it down and inhale, draw it in towards the belly. Exhale, circle it down and out. And then lower that left foot. Shift the weight to your left foot and feel yourself ground through the 4 corners of the feet. When you're ready, inhale, right knee comes up to the nose, glide it out to the right. Circle it down, drag it back in, knee towards the belly. Exhale, glide it out to the right. Draw it down and then back in. Final one. Big hip circle, drop down and back in. And exhale, lower the right foot. Inhale, hands come high. Shift the weight back to the right foot. Hands come back to heart center. Left knee comes high. And then exhale, you're going to just extend that left leg out. Shift your heart forward. Inhale, drop back in. Root the left foot. Shift the weight to the left foot. Inhale, right knee comes high. Exhale, glide that knee open like a book. And then just draw your heart forward. Keep the right leg where it is and just extend it back. Keep the knee bent. Inhale, come back to center. So you notice a lot of core activation here. Shift the weight to the right foot, opposite side again. Left knee comes up towards the belly. Exhale, open that hip like a book. Inhale, hinge at your hip. Extend that leg back. Exhale, come back to center. Close the left hip. Left knee like a book. Lower the left knee, opposite side. Shift the weight to the left foot. Right knee comes high. Exhale, open that knee like a book. Hinge at the hip, shift the heart forward, extend the leg back. Inhale, come back to heart center. Close the knee like a book, lower the knee. Shift the weight back to the right. Inhale, left knee comes back. This time you're gonna exhale, open the knee like a book, hinge at the hip, and then extend your left leg straight back. Draw your toes down. This time interlace the fingers and press them right above your right knee. Take a deep micro bend in the right knee. So notice how my right knee is bent, and then focus your eye gaze on one point. Keep that back left knee flexed, left toes flexed, and you can also micro bend that left knee. Continue to hold here. Push the hands into your right knee, lift your heart. So you're taking a nice long stance in the heart, and you might begin to lengthen out the right knee. Inhale, keep the hands where they are, and invite your left knee in towards the nose. Then hands come to heart center, left knee comes back towards the belly. Exhale, lower it. We'll shift the weight into the left foot. Inhale, right knee comes high. Exhale, glide that right knee out to the right like a book. And then hinge at the hips. Keep that right leg bent. Interlace the hands and draw them on or above your left knee, preferably above the left knee. Don't draw them on. And then extend that right leg back. If your toes are drawing out to the right, draw your toes down. And then micro bend your left knee. Focus your eye gaze on one point and pull your belly button up and in here. You might even micro bend your back right knee. So we're kind of making the body compact and small to help us stabilize a little easier. And then when you feel stabilized here, you might push the hands into your left knee and lengthen out the left knee, and then lengthen out the right knee. Exhale, you're going to micro bend the left knee and bend the right knee, and then slowly invite your right knee in towards the body. Hands come back to heart center. And then exhale, right leg lowers. Inhale, circle sweep, hands up and over. Exhale, hands are going to come back to heart center. Inhale, we're going to switch actually to the left side as opposed to the right. So you're going to shift the weight back to the left. Glide this right knee up. Open the right knee out to the right like a book. Engage your right foot. Begin to hinge at the hip and extend that right leg back. Interlace the fingers and draw them above the left knee. Then extend the right leg back, turn the toes down, and then lunge. Step it back when you're ready. Micro bend your back right knee. So deep bend. And this is going to help pull your tailbone down and pull your belly button up and in. And then make sure your shoulders are stacked above your hips. When you feel stable here, let's draw the hands up to the heavens, y'all. And then exhale, we're just going to lower the right knee down to the earth. You can untuck that back right toe if you'd like. Exhale, melt the hands down towards the earth, and then let's lengthen out the left leg. We're just going to find a half split. So we're lengthening out the left knee, finding a half split. You might draw the toes forward to stretch the front of the foot. I almost called it a mutt. Or you can draw the toes up towards the heavens here. And instead of drawing your head down and creating this kind of curved shape through your spine, instead I want you to see if you can take an inhale and invite your heart towards the knee and keep your head lifted as you pull your left tailbone, your left booty cheek, as you kind of pull that back towards the back side of the room. We're just going to hold here for a few rounds of breath here. Creating some more space in the hammies. And continuing to exercise self-regulation here, y'all. So we're not moving on autopilot. Every bit of movement, we're giving it space to have its full expression. So we're in the present moment with everything we feel, every movement that we're making. We're not checking out. On the inhale, let's bend that left knee. Exhale, you might tuck your back right toe. You might take a block in front of you and just step your right leg forward. The block just brings the earth to you. You can use that if you'd like. And then inhale, let's find a halfway lift. Hands can come to your shins or a block. You're going to find a halfway lift. You're just going to lift the spine long and extend your heart forward. Make sure your hips are stacked over your heels. And then on the exhale, we're going to forward fold and descend the head down towards the knees while taking a nice deep bend in the knees. You might feel that in the outer hips or in the hamstrings. On the inhale, let's circle sweep the hands up and over, y'all. Exhale, hands are going to come back to heart center. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did, but on the opposite leg. So we're going to shift the weight to the right foot and invite the left knee in towards the nose. Exhale, glide the knee out to the left like you're opening up a book. And then slowly hinge at the hips, draw your heart forward. Interlace the fingers together and then press the palms above your right knee and then extend your left leg back. Draw your toes down. Focus your eye gaze on one point. And we're going to slowly lunge, stepping that back leg straight back. Finding a high lunge, you're going to take a deep bend in that back left knee. Pull your tailbone down and in. And then shift your shoulders back so they're stacked over your hips. And then hands come high. This is our high lunge, but it's a little bit more active to stretch the front of your left thigh. And then exhale, slowly lower your left knee down like an elevator. If you have a sensitive knee, you can pad this knee here, or you can also untuck the back left toe. And then exhale, let's lower the hands down to frame the right foot, and then lengthen out our right leg, our right knee for half split. Now, same thing here. You can extend the toes forward just to kind of stretch the front of the foot. You can also kind of find a little bit of a rotation here. Not a rotation, but a little bit of movement and variation, and toes forward, then drawing them up to kind of change where you're feeling the stretch. Same thing though, keeping the spine long and keeping the head lifted, and then bowing forward from your belly button and your heart as opposed to from your head, y'all. Chilling out here for a moment or two. One more moment. And then this time we're going to bend this knee, but we're going to invite our right hand on the inside of the right knee. And we're going to heel toe the right foot out and just step the right knee back. So this time we're actually in the tabletop, y'all. In our tabletop, we're going to root the 5 fingers. We're going to tuck the toes and come to our downward facing dog. So our first down dog, we might pedal out the knees one by one. This is where I'm going to take my socks off so I can get a little bit better grip. Just pedal, 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 pedal. See how that feels. You might find that it was easier to get in down dog because we kind of started standing and lengthening out the hamstrings first. This time we're going to inhale, left leg's going to come high. And exhale, we're going to actually come to a pigeon pose. So a hip opening right away. Left knee is going to come right behind the left wrist. And we're going to tuck and drag, tuck and drag, tuck and drag the right toes back so we can sink into the hip. And in this pigeon pose, we're not actually going to drop down. We're going to stay lifted here for a few rounds of breath. If you're feeling tight in this hip, this is a great opportunity to take your block and position it right underneath the booty here, this left booty, so you don't have to fight gravity. You can always take a rolled up towel, blanket, or even a pillow and position it there too. It gives you the same benefit. Now, if you're having trouble with this left knee, this bothers the knee, invite your foot closer to your groin. And instead of just immediately coming and staying still, I invite you to find a little movement here. So I like to move kind of left and right when I'm in pigeon. And this helps me to kind of self-regulate, but also to find aversions being areas where I kind of unconsciously come to without thinking about it, because I just want to go wherever I feel the most comfortable here, which is sometimes um, the areas where I come to kind of hide in the pose, because I like don't want to feel all of that new sensation, right? And so just kind of moving a little helps me to explore all the new sensation that I might feel here without kind of dumping to my safe zones, those areas where I kind of try to hide in. I want to be in my growth zone, not in my pain zone, but in my growth zone. Make sure that right knee is tucked underneath the right leg. We're going to stay here and breathe, really lifting up so we can stretch the front of this hip. You might feel that sensation. I want you to try to relax the shoulders, relax the mouth and the jaw here. Try not to run. Really learning self-acceptance right now, this 2022. That's been my main thing. How to accept myself right now without trying to add or take anything away, which is a lot about what the Body Love Challenge is about, because so much in the new year, we hear things about things we need to take away or add to change ourselves. And self-acceptance is also an extension of embodied gratitude, where a gratitude that you're owning in your physical body, as opposed to extending gratitude to something that's coming to you or something that you did. And embodied gratitude through acceptance of myself has been really a hard thing for me. But I know that gratitude cultivates more abundance. And I want to cultivate more abundance in my body, because I want to feel, and abundance for me in my body feels like being really happy with where I am right now. And that's the feeling that I'm wanting to cultivate. So just exploring more acceptance here. We're going to slowly slink over to the left side. And then from here, root your left hand behind you, invite that right leg up and in, and then just root it down. Keep your left leg right where it is and invite the left foot to the inside of the right inner thigh. And we're just going to come to a seated forward fold, one-legged seated forward fold. Inhale, hands are going to sweep up. And on the exhale, we're going to extend the arms, maybe draw the hands to the shin or capture the outside of the foot so we can really get into the hamstring. And then I want you to invite the toes, your right toes, in towards the chin. You're going to feel all that tingly sensation in your calf. That's what we want to feel. All that tingling is through your fascial tissue. It's creating more space. Try to invite the left knee down to the earth as much as you can. And same thing, instead of dropping the head down and creating that kind of half moon shape, see if you can extend your heart forward and keep your head lifted so that your spine stays long here. On the inhale, let's lift up. You're going to rainbow your left hand up and around and draw it straight back and root it on the outside of your left booty cheek. And then you're just going to extend your right leg straight back. So it's kind of like you're making an S with your feet and your legs. So this right knee is just going to come back to almost a 90-degree angle. And we're going to root our left hand. We're going to try to keep the crown of the head right over the hip. And we're going to try to lift this right ankle without our hands so we can really activate through this hip flexor. So on the inhale, we're going to lift that right heel off of the earth and hold for 5. For 4, try to stay right on top of the hips. For 3, for 2, and 1. Lower the foot. We're going to do the same thing with the knee. Inhale, knee comes high. You're going to feel that right in the hip flexor. Hold here for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. Slowly lower that right leg. Inhale. Draw that right leg up and around. Root the right foot. Push your left hand into the earth so you can come onto your right foot. Hands are going to come in front of you. And we're going to stretch through the calf here. I want you to hold here and try to keep that heel down as much as you can. And then shift your heart forward, slowly lift that left leg up. We're in a 3 one-legged half split. Left leg comes high. I'm just going to back it up so I'm not hitting my plants here. Left leg comes high, and we're going to slowly come to a one-legged Tadasana. Hands come to heart center. Invite the left knee in towards the belly. Left knee comes in towards the belly. Open that left knee like a book. Hinge at the hip. Extend that left leg back. Turn the left toes down and draw the hands into the right knee. Begin to lengthen out the right knee. Push the hands into the knee. Left leg extends back long. Exhale, lunge. Step the left leg back, left toes back. Micro bend this left knee. Pull the tailbone down. Hands come high, high lunge. You're holding here. Exhale, lower the left knee to the earth. Untuck your left toe if you'd like. Lower the hands down. And lengthen out this right knee for your half split. We won't be here too long. Keep the spine long, y'all. Pull the belly in. Draw your heart forward. And start to bow. I feel that in this calf, y'all. She's speaking to me. On the inhale, let's bend that right knee. Hands are going to come on the inside of your right knee, y'all. Heel toe the right foot out, and then just step the right knee back. We're going to come straight back to downward facing dog. No chaturangas at all in this practice. This is more of a traditional hatha practice. No downward facing dogs, no vinyasa. So we're coming back to our down dog. And we're going to do the opposite side. On the inhale, right leg's going to come high. And then exhale, pigeon pose. Your right knee's going to come right behind your right wrist. You're going to lower it down. You're going to tuck your back left toe. Tuck and drag. Tuck and drag. Tuck and drag. Straight back. You're going to walk your hands back and start to settle. Maybe rocking it left and right. Trying to know all those places we want to kind of run and hide into in the body. And we want to avoid that. We want to kind of find some self-exposure here, self-expose ourselves. And start to not only use that as an opportunity to learn of oneself, but to accept. And I invite you to really define what self-acceptance looks like for you. For me, abundance in my body looks like me really being more happy in my body, exactly where it is without trying to change anything. And that's what acceptance looks like for me. The more we can begin to define things specifically for us, define these very cliche terms like body positivity or self-acceptance or self-love, the more you can define them specifically for yourself, the more divinity you are exercising. It also creates more space for you to actually embody that term because you know what it feels like for you. And continue to hold here. Make sure that back left knee is tucked underneath the leg, y'all. I'm going to stay here for a few rounds of breath. We're not dropping down. We're staying lifted and upright so we can really get in the front of that left hip too. Not just the back, not just the right booty. If you need to, position that block or that book underneath the booty, y'all. Try not to push beyond your own boundaries. Stay in your growth zone. And then on the inhale, slink over to the right side. Inhale, invite that left leg forward. And just coming to kind of that V shape here, coming to our one-legged seated forward fold, so the left leg is out towards maybe 10 o'clock if our feet are on a clock, and your right foot is coming to the inside of your left inner thigh. Might move the booty meat out of the way here a little bit. And we're going to shift our torso towards our left leg. Hands are going to come high, and then exhale, forward fold. You might draw your hands to the shin or the back sides of the feet. Depending on your body, draw those toes in towards the chin. Really get into your calf. Keep the heart lifted. Keep your head lifted, more specifically. And then bend the elbows and extend your heart forward. Keep the head lifted the entire time. You might start to feel this even in your low back, depending on your body. I know for me, I'm feeling it more in my low back on the right side, which feels really nice because it's where my spinal curvature is. So I need a nice stretch on that side. On the inhale, let's slowly come up. We're going to root our right hand behind our right booty cheek and just glide this left knee back. So we're going to create like a little bit of an S, backwards S shape between the legs. And same thing here. I want you to lift this back left heel without your hands. You might root your right hand into the earth, but that's about it. So try to keep the head lifted. It's easy to try to do this. Keep your head right on top of your hip. So inhale, lift that right knee for 5, or excuse me, that right foot, this right foot for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Lower the left foot. This time, this back left knee is gonna lift. Inhale, lift this left knee. I don't know if y'all can see it. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Lower the left knee. Inhale. Draw your left leg forward. Root the foot. Push the hand into the earth to kind of pick your body weight up, and then place both hands in front of your left foot. And you're going to slowly start to lift the hips and draw your heart forward to really start to stretch through the heel. And I don't want that heel to come up. As soon as the heel starts to come up, then you need to kind of back your way down because you want to stretch the heel to create more range of motion in the ankle. Then when you're ready, extend and lift up through the right leg. Right leg comes back. I'm just going to hop back so I'm not right underneath my plank. Come into that one-legged half split. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. Hands come to heart center and slowly invite the right knee in towards the chest. Exhale, open that right knee out like a book. Inhale, hinge forward at the hip and extend the right leg back. Interlace the fingers together. Press the palms right above your left knee. Keep pressing that right leg back and lengthen out your left knee. Heart is long. Keep turning down that right hip and then exhale. Lunge, step your right foot back. Micro bend this right knee. Pull your tailbone down and hands come high for your high lunge. Exhale, lower your right knee like an elevator. Untuck the toes here. Lengthen out the left leg. Half split. Hands are going to frame your left foot. Take a deep inhale, lengthen the heart, and exhale. Maybe drop the belly button or the heart towards the left knee. Inhale, micro bend the left knee. Hands are going to come on the inside of your left leg. You're going to heel toe the left foot out to the left and just step it back, tabletop. Inhale here, find your cow pose, shine the heart up, tailbone comes high. Exhale, curl the chin in towards the groin, find your cat. And then slowly, hips come back, child's pose. Option to rest the chest on the knees, or you can open the knees wide, let the belly and the chest fall through here for a few rounds of breath. Option to take your final closing posture here in child's pose, or you can come to a seated variation like myself. You can always come to lie down in Shavasana if you prefer to close there as well. Shavasana is more of a state of being rather than a pose, so you can take it however you'd like. Resting here, a few more rounds of breath. I invite you to close your practice with whatever hand mudra feels intuitive to you and showcases gratitude for our practice today. Traditionally, palms are drawn together at heart center, a little space in between the palms, thumbs pressing into heart center. For Anjali Mudra, it means to seal. Take a deep inhale in through the nostrils here, y'all. Exhale out of the mouth, HA. We'll each repeat one time. I've done my best. I leave the rest. Namaste, fam. Namaste, y'all. Hope that practice felt good for you in your body. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and join the family. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, go ahead and make sure to give this video or this live stream a like. Your likes and your comments really help reinforce to the YouTube algorithm that this is something that y'all enjoy and really helps my numbers, so I appreciate it. Also, if you came in late and you didn't hear my announcement, definitely head to the link that I'm going to put in the chat box right now to join the Trap Flow Body Love Challenge. Trap Flow is a hip hop yoga practice that I created, and the challenge features 20 hip hop yoga practices to feed your body and soul. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in there for y'all now in the chat box so you can easily find it. And we officially start on Monday on MLK. Would love to have y'all join. Here we go. Thank you for joining, Angelica. Jehovah, thank y'all for joining. Keisha, Sammy, Katie, good to see y'all. I'm glad y'all got to join Bella. It is hard work. It is hard work. But what's nice, y'all, is that this balance flow will be on my YouTube under live stream, so you can return back to it. I always suggest if you find a flow, a certain practice challenging, that's a really, really great opportunity for you to keep returning back to it. When I started my practice, my yoga practice over 10 years ago, I did one practice religiously over and over and over again. The same sequence, it didn't change. And that repetition, there's such power in repetition when you are starting out as a new yogi. So when you find a practice that's really effective for you, that challenges you, just keep committing to that practice. Keep committing to it because you will always find new things within your body every single time. So if this is one of those practices for you, I encourage you to return back to it, y'all. I'm going to sign out for the rest of the evening. Make sure to join us for the Trap Flow Body Love Challenge, that hip hop yoga challenge, starting on Monday. And I'll see y'all really soon. If you have any questions about the challenge, all the information is there on the page. So you can learn all you need to know about it, as well as our free 4 live streams that we're doing on Wednesday evening, starting next Wednesday. Y'all have a beautiful night, and I will see you very soon. Yes, you're welcome. Yes, you're welcome. Y'all have a beautiful evening.